Cave exploring. That's a fun thing to do. What an adventure. There's so many interesting things to see in caves, like little living creatures, like my friend the bat here. They're really amazing creatures, the bats. Many of them around the world pollinate flowers which only grow in the nighttime. It's only bloom in the nighttime. And in our area, they eat tons and tons of insects which are harmful to our agriculture. So bats are really helpful. Sometimes they get a bad rap, but bats actually are very helpful to all of nature, and they keep the insects under control that are flying around at nighttime. Bats are also great evidence against evolution because they're so complex with their sophisticated sonar ability to find their way in the dark by making little beeps and then hear the echoes, that how could something like that happen by chance and evolution over long periods of time? There's just no explanation for that. And their ability to fly, they're great flyers also. And even if evolution happened, where's the evidence of it? Only one place to look for the evidence of evolution, and that's in the fossil record. We look in the fossil record, we see bats. They look just like today's bats. Absolutely no evidence of anything that was half some kind of a mouse-like animal and half bat. Nothing. We have animals without wings and animals with wings. So the evolutionists have no evidence at all of any of the intermediate forms which must have been there if evolution really happened. So bats are great evidence for creation and against evolution. A lot of interesting things in caves which can illustrate our Christian life. Psalm 119, 105 tells us, "Thy word is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path." So God's word can help us to make short-term decisions, a lamp unto our feet, and long-term decisions, a light unto our path. And when we're in a cave, we have our light, and we can really see that illustrated. As we go through the cave, we can watch where we're going to put our feet right away, and we can watch which passageway goes someplace and which one doesn't go someplace, and where there might be a cliff or a hole that we would want to avoid. So the light's really important, and in the Christian life, the light's really important too. And God's word can guide us in our lives. And Jesus also said, "You are the light of the world." And so as a light of the world, we can attract other people to Jesus Christ, the real, true light. And just like in a cave, if you're lost in a cave without a light, I can come in there with my little light, which isn't all that bright, but I can guide you, and you can follow me out to the true light. So that's an illustration of how we can help people to follow us to find Jesus Christ. A lot of interesting things about caving, which reflect spiritual truths. One thing, they tell you never go caving without at least 3 people in the group. So if one person is hurt, one can stay with them while the third one goes for help. So Jesus sent them out by twos. And in Ecclesiastes, we read that 2 are better than 1, and a threefold cord is not easily broken. Also, a main rule of caving, you stay together. You don't wander off on your own. And just like Jesus Christ didn't just save us to go through life on our own, he wants every one of us to be a part of a good church, not solo Christianity. Also in caving, we submit to those who have more experience. Because they've been in the cave before, we follow their leading. Just like God gave us parents and teachers and pastors to help us, and we should submit to them also. Also, caving is not a competitive sport. It's a cooperative sport. We help one another, and that's the Christian life too. We don't compete with one another. We help one another. I guess one final thing about caving, which I like, is that it reflects the Christian life because some parts of it are just so beautiful and wonderful. You're going through a big, wide passageway and beautiful formations around you. But then another part, you have to get down and crawl, and it can sometimes be very difficult. That's why we wear things like knee pads, and we have our hard hats on. Speaking of which, there's another analogy. It protects our heads. Very important. What's the analogy in the Christian life? Sure enough, the helmet of salvation. So hopefully you can get to do some wild caving sometime in your life, and you can see all these interesting ways that caving reflects the Christian life when you do so. God bless you.